Hello and welcome to today's session for English 204, and today we're going to talk about shortened proposal. Now I have to keep this under 15 minutes, otherwise YouTube would not post it for me as a video and it'll be impossible to upload to Moodle. So I'm going to try to make it as brief as possible, but at the same time include all the important information. So how do you write a proposal, or why should we write a proposal? Proposals are usually written in order when you're trying to fund your research, or you're applying for a grant, or you're applying to a journal you would like to publish your paper, or maybe even a conference, and they're asking for your proposal. Proposals differ, but this is a general proposal that almost every single proposal follows. What you're going to notice is a lot of repetition between the different parts, but repetition is fine. Remember the golden rule: you tell them what you're going to tell them, you tell them, and then you tell them what you have told them. So it's okay if things get repeated. What you need to do for your proposal is keep every single section that's in here and just simply fill in the blanks by answering the questions. So your proposal should have your introduction, background and significance, literature review, research design and methods, preliminary suppositions and implications, conclusion, and citations. Your introduction should answer the following questions. What is the central research problem, which is your research question? What is the topic of study related to that problem? So that's the topic, which is in your thesis, as well as the different frames. What methods should be used to analyze the research problem? We're going to talk about methods in a bit. And so is it library research? Is it field work? Is it lab work? Are you gonna do surveys? What are you gonna do? You don't have the time or the resources to do lab work, so you're gonna have to stick to library work and what others have done before you. Now, regarding background and significance, we've already talked about this, but here are some things that you can also explore. I'd rather you go with the background and significance that I gave you before, but if you find that to be too long and you wish to keep it short for this proposal, just answer the following. Deal with some of them or all of them. Literature review. This is not just the literature review for your proposal, this is also the literature review for the assignment that you have for the class. You've already started, you've done your research, but what you still have to do is pick 3 or 4 of these articles and you're gonna cite them. You're gonna tell me what each one talks about. You've already done the one sentence for each. You're going to compare them and show me how they're similar. You're going to contrast them and show me how they're different. You're going to critique them and show me which ones are more persuasive and why, and how which one is better than the other, or more valid or reliable, etc., etc. And then you're going to connect it to your area of research and investigation to show me how your work draws upon, departs from, or synthesizes what has already been said. You are going to be standing on the shoulders of all the giants who came before you in order to come up with your research. Your research has to be innovative, but at the same time, your research has to build on previous research, because otherwise you can't start from zero. It's pointless. Imagine every single human being has to start from zero. We'll get nowhere. It is because we stand on the shoulders of the people who came before us that we can get somewhere. Research design and methods. This is a critical part, because here you're not doing your own research, but at the same time, you need to tell me how you're thinking about your research and what are you going to do in order to reach the truth. How are you going to verify the information that you obtain? How are you going to make sure that your information has no bias? So you're going to tell me what research operations you'll undertake, how you interpret the results. Don't just describe what you intend to do from doing it, but how you will be spending your time while doing it. In other words, how are you going to think about the problem? Will there be some weaknesses? If there are, you're going to have to later on in your paper point these out in your limitations paragraph. This is not a part where you talk about your research tasks. It's a part where you talk about how your plan is valid and your plan is going to lead you to the truth ultimately. Be sure to anticipate and acknowledge any potential barriers and pitfalls in carrying out your research design and explain how you plan to get around them. So what will be the difficulties? Is it time? Is it resources? What is it? Preliminary suppositions and implications. This is also very important. This paragraph will make it to your paper like all the other previous paragraphs as well. Whatever you write for this proposal is going to make it into your final paper. So when you talk about preliminary suppositions and implications, you're going to be talking about or answering these questions. For example, what might the research results mean in regards to the theoretical framework that frames the study? What suggestions for subsequent research could arise from the potential outcomes of the study? So, will this open doors for later research? Will this research will it change things in the real world? Will it influence programs, methods, and forms of intervention? How will it contribute to the solution of social, economic, or other types of problems? Will the results influence policy decisions? In what way do individuals or groups benefit should your study be pursued, etc., etc.? So ask the following questions and see what you come up with. It's very important to think about the significance of your research. It's important to think about your suppositions, what you're claiming will happen, what will mean when your study is done and complete. Finally, you're going to write a conclusion. Well, not really finally. You still have the citations, but then the last part is the conclusion, where you have to repeat everything that you have said in this paragraph. So why was the study done, the specific purpose of the study, research design and methods used, potential implications, etc., etc. So you're repeating everything, but it's good because it makes you rethink about everything that you've done and you're summing it up in the conclusion. And then finally, you're going to have your citations. You're going to have a reference list citing all the literature review articles that you have cited or referencing those and anything else that appears elsewhere. And you're going to compile a bibliography, everything you've used in your proposal, with additional citations of key resources relevant to understanding the research problem. So what did you look at before in order to understand your topic better and maybe get background information? What have you looked at? So you're going to have to copy paste the links over here. So this is in a nutshell what a shortened proposal is. As I said before, proposals differ a little, but they all follow this. In every single language, for every single journal, conference, grant you're applying for, even for IRB approvals, you're going to have to fill a proposal or do a proposal, and they more or less follow this. Most of the time they're shorter, Don't worry about the number of pages. It's not about the number of pages. It's just filling this up. Just make sure you have all the different parts, and needless to say that you need to have your names and the class and all this important information over here. It has to be in Times New Roman with a page number. Of course, I don't need to tell you this. I presume you already know this now, by now. That's it for the shortened proposal. I hope this is clear. If you have any questions, please email me, and I will make sure I answer them either in class next time or directly to you. It depends on the question, whether it's going to be something that other people can benefit from the answer of or not. Thank you.